Hello. Thank you for joining me again. This is Michelle McTagg with Plumtree Realty, your Pickerington area expert on all things real estate, and I am lucky enough to be sitting here today with my friend Lisa Reade. I'm excited to have her with me today because she has decided to run for the Fairfield County Commissioner's office, and she's here today to stop by and explain a little bit to us about why she wants to do it, why she so much loves Fairfield County, and how she plans on bringing some change to our wonderful county. So Lisa, thank you so much for joining me.
I so appreciate the opportunity to come here.
Good. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come here because I know you're busy running a campaign.
I am, but I had time to stop in, no problem.
Good. Well, I have a few questions for you that I think might be a good way for viewers out there to get to know a little bit about you, where you come from, and why you want to be a part of the county.
Perfect.
Politics. So, what made you decide initially to become an area leader?
Well, it really started when I made a career change for my family. I was working for the Limited and traveled a lot, and made a decision when I had my second child that I was not going to travel, and I transitioned into a financial planning job there. Mm-hmm. And did very well. I was trying to stay home, at least not travel 90 nights a year, and did that for a couple years. And I was still working a lot. I was 8% of their planning staff, but I had a $300 million area and was 35% of their business. So I was still gone a lot. So I decided I was going to retire, rather than let someone else raise my kids. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be the one to raise them, and changed gears and focused more time on my family and my community.
Awesome.
So I had the time to do that and just got more involved.
I think when you have kids at home and when you are an involved parent, you really don't have any much option. I mean, even if you just volunteer in the PTO level, or you get involved with the book fair, you just get your toe dipped in the water one little bit and they yank you right in.
That's true. Well, you see what's available and what's out there, and then you see, it takes a community to make it better.
It really does.
And, it's only going to get better if people step up and do that. So, for me, it started one night. I was working at the Friends of the Pickerington Public Library on a book sale, and my shift was Friday night. Well, the library was closed Friday night, so nobody was coming. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, who would schedule a book sale when the library's not open? And I was sitting there with actually the current president of the library, Friends, but I didn't know. And the next year, I was the president of the library Friends. So that's how that works.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
And you also, I did a program through the library that I know my kids were a part of growing up, that Patches for Progress program.
We did. When we were at the Friends of the Pickerington Public Library, is really a fundraising group that creates programming and funds programming for the library. And one of our goals was to, increase the library's profile in the mm-hmm. community. And I happened to have a first grader that wasn't a big reader. He, he would rather be outside playing ball.
I don't blame
him. I don't either. But so what we did though is he enjoyed earning these little patches. So we developed this program called Patches for Progress, where kids would read and earn patches at the library. And in its first year, they read 1.2 million minutes across the community and made 1,812 mm-hmm. trips to the library. So it increased the library's profile, and I think made reading fun for the kids. And right. The Pickerington schools ultimately adopted the program as part of their library curriculum because, it was so popular. Yeah,
it was popular. I know my kids loved it. So thank you for doing that. And they're good readers to this day.
There you go.
And that's probably why. So a lot of people live in Fairfield County and work in Fairfield County. They raise their families in Fairfield County. We shop in Fairfield County. But not everybody wants to step up and be in the forefront of the community and help lead the community into the next decades. So what drives you to be that person who has a vision and sees what needs to be done and then takes action on that and decides, I'm going to jump in and run for office?
Well, I think it started when my kids were little, and I saw that the schools had a lot of growth attached to them. The areas were growing almost faster than the schools could keep up. And I felt like our schools needed somebody to be an advocate for them. I mean, and that's really what your elected official in every capacity does for that particular group. You know, they're an advocate. So I decided I was going to run for school board, and I ran 3 times. I guess I liked it so much, but I served 12 years on the Board of Education. And to be honest, I loved public service. I loved helping the public. I loved creating new ideas. One of the things I'm most proud of is the Ohio Health collaboration partnership with Pickerington Schools and establishing a STEM school program in the Ohio Health building. And I'll be honest, there's other hospitals that are interested in similar programs. And that really kind of sparked me to do something beyond the school board. I really thought the relationship that we created here was unique, and actually Ohio Health has come to change their model when they go into a community. When they came into Pickerington, they had offered us a conference room, and we pushed back a little bit and said, we can do better than a conference room in Pickerington. And they actually have now changed their model when they go to communities because they've been so pleased with how this works.
So they just automatically offer a collaboration similar to what we have
It's really
here?
an educational type of room, and I think the communities can tailor it for what their needs are. But, they have a great example of what can happen in their buildings.
And one thing I always knew we could count on you for on the school board was dissecting, and I guess this is your finance background, but dissecting anything that the school board wanted to do, anything they wanted to spend money on. How can we spend it more wisely? How can we get more out of every penny? And I think a lot of people in the community appreciated that from you, but I know that goes to your background and to your
It does.
career.
When I was at the Limited, I had a $300 million area I was responsible for, so I learned quickly. The Limited is a very fast-moving organization, and you want to maximize profit, so you learn how to spend money wisely there. And, you learn how to treat people fairly, and, there's a lot of things I learned there that I brought with me to Pickerington Schools. And I think, one of the things that hopefully I'll be able to bring to the county is the same kind of thing. I think we can look for, economies of scale across all kinds of different services that are done in Fairfield County. Maybe not just at a county level, it might be at a township, but I think creating buying power across different categories may save money for us.
Yeah.
That might be
I
something.
like that, buying power.
Yeah, you want to have buying power.
I like that.
And so I think there's different kinds of opportunities, but there's opportunities on all levels. Right now when you click on the small business help in the Route 33 Alliance page, it takes you to a state generic site for small business. Wouldn't that be great if it was actually populated by chamber members that would coach and help small businesses right in your backyard? So if you need help, you're not being sent to Columbus, you're being sent to somebody, one of your neighbors, somebody down the street, maybe your local chamber.
Actually, that would be so nice, because I know when I've needed help, I've gone down to Columbus State.
Right, and it all exists here. So it's really just about building partnerships and creating collaborations.
Getting that network together.
And getting a network. And it exists there. And you know what? When you talk to people, because I have talked to so many people, they all want it. This is the right time for that.
And we're coming up on our time limit here, but I wanted you to talk, I know we could go on for hours.
We could.
But I wanted you to talk a little bit about this, the internship program that you were kind of talking to me about earlier.
One of the things I'm very passionate about is workforce development. And I have worked with a couple of school districts right now who are very interested. I think it's very timely for this, and I think it's something that businesses really want. I'd like to create a single place where businesses can talk about what their needs are. Perhaps it's unpaid internships. It could be an apprenticeship after that if the child works out and they want to continue it. It could be part-time jobs. It could be, full-time jobs. It doesn't necessarily just have to be directed at high schools, but it's a great place to start because it touches so many families in our community. It could go to colleges. It could be to residents. It could be kids coming home from college looking for jobs. People can get workforce plans on there. You have people like a Fairfield Medical that has tons of expansion going on. Don't you want to know what areas are going to be
Right.
most valuable to them in
And
the next few years?
I feel like there's in the past there's just been such an emphasis on going to college, going to college, going to college. We're really lacking some very skilled labor positions.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a great way to even though we have our technical schools that
Sure.
are affiliated with the school, vocational schools. It seems like even they have kind of shifted gears and gone a different path recently, and it would be so nice to have that community outreach to help actually train our kids.
Absolutely. I think, connecting kids and giving them experiences in different fields, before they have to go to college or before they go into the workforce is a great first step to
Yeah,
make
how are you
sure
supposed
that.
to know what
How
you
do
want to do?
Exactly.
I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up.
Are you going to ever grow up? We're not
Probably
going to grow up.
No, probably not.
But I think that's just an opportunity for the kids. And you think about it's not even just businesses. Think about first responders. What if there's a student that wants to go work for the fire department or wants to be a medic? There are classes they can take in high school that makes being a medic easier, but they don't know what those are.
Right.
It's just a coordination and a collaboration. And I think we can make that happen. I think the time is right. Schools want it. Businesses want it.
I do too. I'm
And
so excited about that.
I feel like this is something that should be coordinated at a county level.
As the mother of my last high school senior, that's what I'm most excited about in your platform is the collaboration between the county and high schools and the internships. I think that's phenomenal.
And businesses,
And
absolutely.
Yes.
Right.
So explain to me, this will be our last question.
Okay.
But explain to me why do you want to be the county commissioner? A county commissioner, I should say, because there's more than one.
There's 3, and I'm running for one of the seats. I love the whole idea of workforce development. I have loved the idea of transparency in government. I think one of the things that the public servants should do first is, be able to explain, what they're doing. I don't like when people say, oh, the budget is too complex to explain.
Right.
That's our job to explain it. And you need to be making data-driven decisions that are very objective, and because you won't make everybody happy as a county commissioner,
Right.
but I should be able to explain the detailed reason behind why I made a decision I did, and it should be data driven.
And I'm sure you didn't please everybody when you were on the school board either.
No, I don't think I did, but you do your best.
Right.
You do the best you can, and I think that's important. I have spent time with Judy Shoup and Lisa Kessler, who are both former county commissioners. Judy was a county commissioner for 20 years, so I talked to her for a long time to figure out, if what I thought I wanted to do in the county was even possible as a county commissioner, because I think there's 2 things that you really do. I mean, first of all, government has to be transparent, and there's a lot of things we can do to improve that in Fairfield County. But I think the money that you spend should be for 2 reasons. I mean, and the decisions you make are for 2 reasons. It's to improve the lives of the people that live here, and to make it easier to do business in our county. I mean, that's really what a county commissioner should do. And I think that covers a lot of ground, and I think, I am excited and up for the task.
I am excited too to see how it all plays out for you. When is election day?
It's May 8th.
May 8th coming up.
On a Tuesday.
Yes, so, and it's a primary.
It's a primary, and early voting starts on April 10th.
Yes, so make sure you either cast your early vote or you get out to your polling places on May 8th and cast your vote.
Right.
It's a privilege to be able to vote, so do it. There's
And
no excuses.
I'll tell you, if you're not sure where you vote, you can find out on my website. Go to www.lisareade.com, and there is a vote tab that will give you all the details you need.
And that's Reade.
Yes.
Reade. Yes. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us for another spotlight on one of our amazing community members. I'm Michelle McTagg with Plumtree Realty, and this is Lisa Reade, our Fairfield County Commissioner candidate. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, and we will see you again with another interesting individual from Pickerington.